Hey there. Welcome. Oh, I'm not straight. Hold on. There we go. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I just ran in here from the restroom, so I just showed up barely in time. Okay. Welcome. Yeah. Let me put my mic on. I don't even have my mic on yet. It's stuck. Okay. Oh, good. We're going to have one of those days again.
Somebody from Chile.
Somebody from Chile? And somebody from Oklahoma. Hi, Victoria. Welcome. Oregon. I'm going to Oregon in a couple days because my grandbaby will be here.
You're going to be a grandma.
Very soon. Yep, I'm going to be a grandmom. My stepdaughters call me mom, so I'll be a grandmom. Welcome. I have Santa earrings on. Yeah. Yes. It is a busy time. Somebody said I'm generous for sharing my time during this busy time of year. Here's the thing. Just like you, a little escape is always nice, right? That's the way I look at it. Welcome. Yay, I'm glad you're here. So I'll go ahead and let you know that if I'm home on New Year's Eve day and New Year's Day, I might go live on one of those days. It just depends on if we'll be back from seeing the grandbaby, which will be in Oregon. She lives in Portland. Yay. Oh, I'm glad you got the kit for the Simon Says stamp class. I'm excited. Israel, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. So, Mike, do you have those images?
I have the We Are the World song going through my head.
Okay. Do you have those images?
Which one do you want?
Okay. So today I just wanted to do something fun where I kind of play with some ideas with some older products that I've wanted to use and have you help me make choices. Now I have 3 cards planned, but not down to like colors used and things like that. So this is one of those where you can help me kind of vote along the way. Yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I have some different techniques to explore here. We're going to do shaped cards, unique cards, and much more. So when I decided I wanted to do this today, I reached out to Greenery from Pinkfresh Studio. I don't know if she's here. She's in Dubai, so I don't know what time it is there. Hi, Betsy. So when I told her that I was going to go live, she said, good timing because they have 15% off store-wide plus 30% off clearance. And I'll be using some from clearance, some from not clearance. And then she also said we could give a free stamp set. And this is incredible. Mike, can you put up the free gift image? Okay, so Pinkfresh is offering a free Painted Daisies stamp set using my code. And this is off any order. Oh, hi, Greenery. Greenery is here. So Greenery is very generous. We know this from past lives. She's offering a free stamp set with any order. The key is you have to add it to your cart, and I have a link for it. Oh, Mike, can you put it all in the YouTube description?
I'm doing that right now. I just noticed.
Okay, Mike's going to put it in the YouTube description. Mike, do you need my... I'll put the...
I'm doing the logs page.
Okay. Mike is putting on the YouTube description. I was running a little late before this, but what you do is you have to add it to your cart, the Painted Daisies, and then you need to use the code. If you do those 2 things, you'll get the Painted Daisies stamp set for free. What are you looking for, Mike?
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, okay. Okay. You will get the Painted Daisies stamp set for free, and that's a great stamp set. It's a 4x6 stamp set. The cool thing about it is that you could also, if you wanted to, you could buy the stencils and dies to go with it. So you would end up getting the stamp set free. Does that make sense? So with any amount you spend any amount, you get that free. But you have to add it to your cart and you have to use that code. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to add...
I did the page. If you can do the description.
I won't be able to.
Okay.
So you're going to have to put... I put the guts there, Mike.
Okay.
Just excuse us. Can you add the special offer information and the supply list? Mike's doing that now. Sorry, had a day. I never sleep in past 6, and today I slept in till 7:45, and that meant I had to go to the later church service, and it threw me all off. Okay, Mike, can you show the other image, the sales image? There we go. So there also is a 15% off store-wide sale, and that you don't need a code for. And the price is as marked for those, so that makes it super, super easy. Mike, I added the supply list into the YouTube description. If you could just add the sale stuff up at the top, that'd be great. So you should be, so that's 15% off store-wide. Now that does exclude the new category, so anything that was released in November. And it does exclude the events, and there's something else there, gift cards, but those make sense. So the 15% off store-wide excludes the new category, the events, and the gift cards, okay? And if you've been here for a moment, you'll just have to refresh the page a few times to get the stuff to show up in the YouTube description. Yeah, I couldn't believe I never sleep in past 6. It was delightful. Okay, let me see. Hold on, Mike. It's there for me. If you refresh it, it's there. Okay, there we go. So then also, without a code, besides the 15% off store-wide, you can get 30% off their clearance section. So the clearance section is already marked down. It's another 30% off. So there's some really great discounts in there. And almost everything in the clearance section I have done videos using in the past. So you could go to my blog, search on that product name, or go to my Pinkfresh video gallery, and you'll see lots of information on, or lots of videos or inspiration using some of the products on sale. Yay. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. My earrings. I don't wear them often, just for lives around the holidays. So Mike, you just need to add the...
Yep, I'm doing it.
Okay. Hi. Hi there, Rachel. Hello, Christine. I'm glad you're all here. Okay, so again, free gift with any purchase. You have to add it to your cart. It's in the YouTube description below. It says free gift in front of it. Add it to your cart. Use my code, which is J McGuire, and Mike's going to put all that in the YouTube description also. And then add something else to your cart. You could add blending brushes, you could add whatever you want, and then that stamp set will be for free. Now let me show you. This is the stamp set that is for free. It's a big one. It's a normal size stamp set, not a little one, not a little baby stamp set. This is the Painted Daisies stamp set. So the nice thing about this stamp set is you can stamp right onto an A2 card panel. And it can be like tone on tone background. You could white heat emboss that on white cardstock and then do ink blending over it. So you can use it on your own, which I appreciate Greenery offering this as a free gift because it's something that can be used on its own, right? If you wanted to, you could get the coordinating stencils. You could buy those and the coordinating die to use along with the stamp set. So that's up to you. But really, this is something that would be great for watercolor or just like a tone-on-tone background, or again, ink blending over it. So that is the Painted Daisy stamp set. And just one more time, to get the Painted Daisy stamp set for free, you have to add it to your cart, you have to use my code, and then add something else to your cart, any purchase, and you'll get that for free. And it is through the 22nd and while supplies last. But usually she has quite a few available for a free gift. Yeah, it is a great stamp set. If you go to their website, if you click the link for the Painted Daisies below, there are lots of good examples using this stamp set. Pinkfresh is really good about adding onto their website lots of examples so you can get lots of inspiration. The free gift and the sale are through the end of the 22nd. Okay? Yeah, my brain is toast too, so I'm going to repeat a lot. Greedy cat. Yep, I'm with you. She said, my brain is toast today, so thanks for repeating. Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
Holidays are busy.
Yes, the holidays are a little crazy. A lot going on. Okay, so Mike added into the YouTube description the code and all the link to this free stamp set. So if you need to, you might need to refresh your page and you'll see it in the description. The other thing you can do is go to my live page. It is the link at the top of the YouTube description that has the word live in it. I'll put that in the chat. If you go to that page, at the top will be all the information about their sales, the free gift, all that. And if you scroll down, you'll see thumbnails showing you everything that I'm using today. All right? Yeah, it is a great stamp. Okay. I may or may not use it today. I have some fun things that I really have been wanting to use that I'm going to focus on. Yeah, it's like, I feel like December 1st comes along and then it's like fast forward to right now. And it's a little hectic. If you tried using the code and it didn't work, I've discovered a lot of people think that my name has a Q in it instead of a C. So instead of, it's McGuire with a C, not MQ, not McGuire with a Q. It's MCGUIRE. But the code you can just copy and paste from the YouTube description below. Yeah, the orders are already coming in using the code, so we know it works. All right. I first wanted to create a shaped card that looks like it's kind of floating. Okay, so this is something that you could do with a variety of products. And I'm using some that I've been wanting to use because it's a really great set. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if there was an extra month? I agree, Betsy, an extra month between Thanksgiving and dinner. Like a long weekend between when November ends and December. I would even take a long weekend, but anyway.
Good Christmas and dinner. I mean, you said Thanksgiving and dinner.
Thanksgiving and dinner. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Listen, it's been a day.
Well, we can get crafty.
We're going to craft. I usually make a little more sense when I'm crafting. I don't make much sense in real life. The brushes are sold out again. I tell you, they're great brushes. There are a lot of other great products that you'll see here that today that you might be interested in that you can check out instead. Okay. So I've got a sticky mat here. This is the Waffle Flower Grip Mat. It has black on the acetate, so it looks black, but it's a clear grip mat, okay? And I just like it because it's big and it has more stick than most grip mats, but really any grip mat will work. I am using the Tranquil Waterlilies. And this is one of those sets that I think is really thought out well by Pinkfresh. I've never used it until today. I wanted to because of how it works together. So there is a die set that cuts out water lilies and little lily pads. And there are also the stencils. So the stencils will create let you create the inked lily pads and water lilies, I guess you call them. But it also includes stencils to make like a water scene for behind it. So I'm going to use all of these. All of this is so all of these stencils are included in the Tranquil Water Lilies stencil set. And then the Pinkfresh Tranquil Lilies Water Lilies die. So there's just two sets here. You can buy them together separate, but the stencils that go with the die have the water stencils included. Does that make sense? So the stencils include the water and coloring these lilies. You'll see me use it here, and that probably will make more sense. Hi, Susie from Cincinnati. At least the sun is out today. I'll take that. Okay, let me get these in the right order. All right, let's do some stenciling. Let's see here. Does this cut out? Yep, this will fit on here. Okay, so I have two pieces of white cardstock because I want to have double the amount. I don't know how many I'm going to want, but I think I want 2. I may want 3. I'm lining up stencil number 1. There are little tick marks on the stencil that show you how to line it up with the corners of your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel so that you'll be able to cut it out and it'll fit on that panel. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So I have it lined up, stencil number 1. So there are lily pads here, and then there are the water lilies. Now I'm going to pull up the image on the website so I can make sure that I'm doing it right. That's one of the things that you really should do with these stencils is look at the website, because a lot of companies have lots of great examples on their website, and you might as well use that to your advantage. Okay, so let's see. I think I'll use, oh, my key lime's not in here. Either is my waterfall. Oh, it's up here. I just used it. So let's see, key lime and waterfall. I think I'll use those. So I'm going to do like green with a touch of blue on it. I have my inkstand here. Is Brienne here today? She's not always here on.
She is.
I don't expect her to be here on weekends. Brienne, thank you for being here. She was just in Gina's live too. She's like me, working on the weekend. Gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm just doing a light, thank you, Brienne, for being here. Brienne is, Zan, they always call, the kids always call when you least expect it. I am doing a light amount of key lime ink over stencil number 1. So these will be like the leaves on the water lilies and the lily pads. So Brienne is my link ninja. She helps to answer questions and also find links in case you need some help. She is incredible. So I did like a light amount of key lime. Now I'm coming and putting like a darker bit along kind of the bottom edge. These look like Pac-Mans. I mean, you could put the darker amount on any side. Here's the thing. Some people like to do, like plan out where the light source is on their card. I never do that. I just kind of go with the, you know, adding a little variation, but not really spending a lot of time getting it just right. Yeah, Brienne is the best. That is for sure. Next, I think I'll come in with a little waterfall. This is an Altenew alignment guide. It's meant for the stamp wheel, but I use it to mask. I'll put a little bit of blue, like on one edge here. See how there's a little blue coming in? I might add some more on top of that. We'll see. So this is waterfall. I really like these big blending brushes because they add, they're really easy for adding a light amount, and then you can keep going to add a dark amount. Now you'll notice also as I'm inking over this, let me do a smaller brush for this. As I'm going over this, there are these triangles in the background that are floating. See those triangles? That is because those will help us to line up the stencil. I think that's all I'm going to do on that. And then let's add a little bit of darker here. Those, let me get my darker colors. Let's do olive. So those triangles there that are a little weird, those will help us to line up the stencils and the dies each time we do this. It'll make it easy, and you'll see in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of darker paradise. So this is a little bit darker than the waterfall, just for a little pop of blue. Then I'll come in with olive, which is a darker green. And I'll put that towards the center of these. Now, Pinkfresh inks are one of the great inks that kind of blend as they dry. So if you have any harsh lines, don't worry. They'll kind of blend themselves out. So I can quickly just add a little bit of that darker color here, and you'll see it looks a little splotchy, but when it dries, it'll be just fine. And that makes it easier. I think it's really good to have inks like that that kind of blend themselves out so you don't have to put in as much effort. Okay, so there is stencil 1. Look at those. Isn't that fun? There will be more detail to that when we cut with the dies, but first we have to finish inking. Again, I'm going to use little tick marks to line up here. Now these, it's easy to line up. You have choices. You can either line up the tick marks on the stencil, or there are these little triangles. Remember I mentioned these funky little triangles there? Each time you can line the stencil up with those triangles, and you know they'll line up perfectly. And the die will do the same. So this stencil number 2 will be for the floral. So like the water lily. And I think I'll do, I shed in every video. That's so bad. I think I'll do pink. So let's do some pinks here. Maybe with a little yellow at the center. I don't know. Let's try that. Let's do, I want to look at what they look like on the website in the end. Let's do pinks with a little yellow at the center. So I've got sparkling rose first. This is a perfect pink. If you're ever looking for a perfect pink, oh, I was supposed to be doing 2 of these. I need to do 2. See that perfect pink? It's a great perfect pink. But first, I forgot I need to do the other one too. So I'm going to do the same thing on 2. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let me line this up. I'm going to do the exact same thing again because I want lots of water lilies to put on my card, so I need to do more. So first, key lime. Yeah, these colors are, you shed like a golden retriever. It does look like Pac-Man. These colors are beautiful. I'm a big fan of Pinkfresh inks. I do know, I had a little drop of water on there. So you got that little blob there, but it'll go away. Pinkfresh inks are fantastic. And I don't know if you've heard, but these Pinkfresh inks are being discontinued. However, it's not for a bit. Greenery wanted to let us all know early that these were being discontinued, so that if you wanted to get reinkers or finish off your collection, you could. She has had these inks for 7 years now, and there have been a lot of changes in inks. And one of the things that she really wants to do is have matching cardstock. And here's the thing. It's better for companies to start with the cardstock and come out with the inks than the other way around, because there aren't many sources for cardstock. So it's hard to get custom, well, there are many sources for cardstock, but getting custom colors is very tricky because you have to buy such huge quantities. So it's better for them to pick out the colors of cardstock and then design the inks around those. And so they want to have matching cardstock. So they're going to discontinue these inks and come out with new ones. Now here's the thing. Just because an ink is discontinued doesn't mean you can't use it anymore. You'll still see me using mine, and I'm sure I'll use the new ones too because I love Pinkfresh colors, and I'm sure they'll be fantastic. But you can still use them. It's kind of like a car. When Toyota comes out with a new model, it doesn't mean that you have to stop driving your older model. It just means that improvements have come out for various reasons. So I am a big believer in continuing to use what you have. And then if you like the new stuff, you can maybe consider adding that to your collection too. But I do appreciate that Greenery over at Pinkfresh is giving people a little bit of a warning before discontinuing instead of just getting rid of it. She's being very transparent about her reasons, and I appreciate that. We're doing half colors with matching cardstock and half with no cardstock to retain our custom ink color look. Just FYI, in case anyone missed that info. There you go. And they're improving their the quality of their ink, improving the inks. So I think that's fantastic, and I'm excited about it. But in the meantime, and also after they come out with them, I will continue to use these colors because I think they're beautiful. I've said in many videos, I feel like the inks from Pinkfresh are jelly bean colors. They're just happy, happy colors. Yeah, I agree with Mindy. Mindy said, I just hope, makes sense, and I just hope they keep their jelly bean feel. And something tells me they will, because Greenery's really good on having, like, nailing down the branding of her company. Like, she's got the feel nailed down, and I think they'll stick to that. Can you scroll it, Mike? Yay. Yeah. I had announced on my Black Friday live, the hour that I did with Pinkfresh, we talked about the inks, being discontinued. and the reasoning and so on. But the re-inkers will be available for a bit, which I think is great. Hi. Oh, Leanne is here. Hi, Leanne. I was just thinking about you today on the way home from church. I went to Greece with Leanne last summer, and this summer I get to go to Croatia with her. Some crafters and I are going on a cruise. All right. So this is the Sparkling Rose. If you're looking for good pinks, like pinks that aren't too coral, pinks that aren't too purple, the pinks, the basic pink collection from Pinkfresh is really good. So that's Sparkling Rose. I'm going to keep that one out. And then let me put some of these away. Let's come in with the darker, because again, I really like to add a little bit of dark contrast into the deep areas of like the petal of the flower petals. So I'll just do a little bit right at the center. I'm just kind of spinning towards the center. So it's just at the base of those petals. And then you can kind of fade it out. Oop, that would be bad. Yeah, Pinkfresh is great about that. Another thing I should mention while I'm doing this, and I have it linked below, Pinkfresh has an event coming up in February. It's a weekend event, virtual class event, and I'm one of the teachers, and I just came up with my cards for it, and oops, that's all right. And I'm really excited about it. There are some really unique products in it. It has like a journey feel, like kind of a travel, it has kind of a European feel to some of the stamp sets. I don't know, it's beautiful. Dawn is in the class, Dawn Wolswoggle, who's one of my favorite crafters, and her samples are just incredible. But anyways, I just came up with mine, and I'm very excited about them, and there are still spots open if you want to check it out. Okay, so let's see. This will be the next layer of flowers. So let's do yellow on the tips and pink at the center. We're going to try it. All right. Yeah, there are a lot of different grip mats out there. There's a lot of great grip mats out there. This one is Waffle Flower. I tend to use the Waffle Flower, the Gina K, and the Altenew grip mats the most. They're all great for different reasons. So really you can't go wrong with any of them. I do recommend having one for sure. Maybe just watch to see what goes on sale, but I really think it's important to have some sort of grip mat with crafting. This one is a bit bigger. Again, it's clear, but the backing is black, which I find helpful because there's contrast between everything that goes on top of it, but some people prefer the clear because you can see the ink better. So it really just depends on your needs. You can get a smaller grip mat from Waffle Flower or Gina K that fit inside of your Misty. And you could use the same for both. A good red ink. Somebody asked about what are good red inks. Okay, so let me throw out some names. Pinkfresh has Candy Apple, which is kind of a bit of a darker red. I feel like the true red would be Lawn Fawn Lobster. I like Altenew Heartbeat and Gina K Red Cherry. Those are some of my favorite reds. And I'm a firm believer in not sticking to one company. I feel like it's good to mix them together and just go with the colors you like. All right. Because sometimes like Hero Arts has some really deep dark colors that work in addition to the inks like Pinkfresh has. It just depends. I will say I do like when companies have a little collection of like 4 ink colors that work well together. So like a light, medium, dark, and extra dark, and that's what Pinkfresh does. Altenew also does that, and it makes it really easy to find out what colors work together. But, you know, also if you just get one color, like one good pink, you can use your blending brush to get to put a light amount of that ink down so it looks like a lighter color, and then a heavier color by putting more ink down. But really it's just one ink pad. Look at that. Yes, good red inks will stain. a lot of blue ink stain too. That's just the nature of it, and you just gotta deal. Okay, so this one lines up again with the triangles. So this is the center of the flower. I think I'm just gonna do pink there. I don't think I'm gonna try to add any yellow to that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do pink. I think I did that little bit of lemon whip on the edge of those last petals, which I like, but I don't think I'm gonna try to add it to this. I think I'm just gonna go with the sparkling rose here. I might come in with a little bit of, coming in with a small blending brush, do a little bit of the raspberry bliss, which is the darker color. Do you mix companies when using alcohol markers too, like Copic blending into alcohol markers? Yes, you can use any of the Copic or any of the alcohol markers interchangeably. So like Altenew has alcohol markers, and Copic has alcohol markers, and so does like Olo. You can mix and match those. So just go with the color that you like. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Eee! Don't you love it, Mike?
I love it.
Mike was really hoping that on a Sunday afternoon he could come over here and work and watch me make water lilies.
Someone said they look like fortune cookies too. They'd work for that.
Oh yeah, you could make that a fortune cookie.
Yep.
What a great idea. Whoever said that, very smart. I think this Raspberry Bliss was just re-inked. I think I actually re-inked one, guys. Go figure. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of that raspberry ink towards the center. And remember, these inks will smooth out. I'm trying to be kind of fast here. Then the last stencil does like little details at the center of the flowers. And I think I'm gonna do that in gold. Now, notice that these little lines are very tiny, like these little details. So it's not gonna be super obvious in the end, but it's worth trying. Okay, so this is Lisa Horton Gold Metallic Ink. It's part of a 3-pack of metallic inks. There's a silver, a gold, and like a copper. Let me see if it's going through. Yeah, it's very subtle, but it'll add a little bit of shine in the center. Mike, can you add the Lisa Horton 3-color set? I'll show you the results here in a moment. I'm just dabbing off some, okay, so the gold is a pigment ink, so it kind of goes on more like paint. So when you put it through a stencil, sometimes it'll like put it thicker in spots, especially since I'm speed inking here. And so I just dab off some of those bigger blobs so they don't smear. Let's see here. Just gonna dab some of that excess ink off. Okay. Now let me see if you can see the shine. Can you see that? There's a little shine. See the little shine at the center of the flowers? Another thing you could do is just do gold metallic pen at the center of the flowers, or white even. But look how pretty those are. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Okay. So let's see here. Let me put some of this away so I don't have a mess. Okay, now let's move those aside. Aren't the colors pretty? What brand or type of cardstock do you recommend for good gold? Oh, like a gold matte? If you're talking about a matte gold, I feel like every company has a good gold matte. So like this one right here, this is Simon Says Stamp Gold Matte cardstock. And I think, to me, that's true gold. I don't have any gold on here, but yeah, to me, that's a true gold. Okay, so now I have the die, and see those 3 triangles that we stenciled? I'm gonna line up the 3 triangles on my die with those 3 inked triangles. So see how you can see the 3 inked triangles through those 3 triangle holes? Then I know it's gonna be lined up just right. And I'm putting tape on there because I don't want it to shift. It's already shifted, but it'll be good enough. Okay. A matte gold. Yeah, Altenew matte gold is a good one. Pinkfresh had a matte gold. I don't know if they still do. You can check that out. Just make sure you don't get a mirror gold. A mirror gold tends to be really, I mean, it's like a mirror. You can see your reflection, and they tend to be a little more yellow, I feel like. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so now let me show you what these look like. Here's a few of them. Look at those up close. Look at the detail that the die cuts into them. And there's no white trim. And the one die cut them all out at once. Isn't that great? I love it. I am not a fast card maker, but products like this, somebody said I'm a fast card maker. I'm not. Products like this make it easy. I'm very aware of the products I use in lives because I want to make sure it's something that's easy to use. So I'm lining up those triangles and running that through. So Pinkfresh has other sets like this where you ink it up, then use the die and you don't get that white trim. And look how beautiful those are. I'm a big fan of these, and I'm sure they'll come out with more in the new year. And there's a little wiggle room on it. You can see the inking is bigger than the die. So if you don't line it up just right, which I didn't either time, you'll still get good results. There's no white trim showing up. Isn't that fun? They have a bunch of floral sets, but I like that this was Waterlily instead. And because the stencil set also includes the water. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's the Tranquil Waterlilies. So there you can see the negative space of those. All right. Now I'm not real sure what I'm going to do next. Let's see. Okay. My idea here is to have like an oval card base, but have the lily pads kind of hanging off the edge. That's the plan. We'll see if it works. So this right here is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and it's just going to be a guide for me to make sure I don't have things hanging too far off the card because I want it to fit in an envelope. Now I have some oval dies here. Pinkfresh has a bunch of elongated, I think they call them elongated oval dies. Let me make sure I'm saying the wrong name, or the right name. I have them linked below. The nested elongated ovals. So it's a nesting set. Here's the regular ovals. There's many of them in the set. And there's also one bigger, but I can't find mine. I wonder if, hold on. It might still be on my Pinkfresh, yeah, maybe it's in here. My Pinkfresh Black Friday stuff, which I haven't put away. Go figure. No, it's not in here. But you can see I did use the ovals on Black Friday. These are my cards from Black Friday. See the oval shape? I'm a big fan of this kind of elongated oval look because they're proportioned just right for an A2 card. Okay, so there's a bunch of ovals. They also have some specialty ovals. Like this one is the blanket stitch. So it's the same oval shapes, but there's a bunch of them with that blanket stitch look. I have them all stuck into my cabinet door, but there's all the different sizes. They're nesting. Then there is a double stitch set. See the double stitching on it? And then they're just the plain. Now, I wanted to use just the plain for this particular card, but I can't find my biggest plain oval. So I am instead using, for the biggest, the blanket stitch one. I just can't find it. I don't know where I put it. So let's see, let's do some die cutting. First, let's cut some of the biggest oval. Again, this is the elongated blanket stitch ovals. I really wanted to use the plain, but I can't find my biggest plain one. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the no white trim too. There's a reason why companies do a white trim. It has to do with like this flexibility of stamps and so on. So there is a reason for the white trim, but with stencils, they don't have to worry about that as much. So I appreciate that she does that. Magnetic strips. If you put magnetic strips in your door, okay, let me rewind. In the past, I've shown magnetic strips that have sticky on the back, and you can stick them inside of your cabinet door and stick your magnets on it. Before I stick it down, I clean the door with rubbing alcohol to make sure that it's nice and clean. And then I put the magnetic strips down, and I find that it sticks just fine. You just got to really press it into your magnetic door, or into your door. Okay, so I have 2 of the biggest oval. Then I've already cut this. I'll do another one. Hold on. I'm going to take first I'll take the large oval. Again, mine happens to have blanket stitch, but I'm not really wanting that, but I can't find the other. Oh, I misplace things all the time. I have no idea where it went. So I cut with the largest oval, and then I'm going to come in with the second largest oval and cut from that, and this will give me a frame. So I'm going to tape that down. I lose things all the time. Ask Mike. All the time. I'm like, Mike, can you come help me find this? It's very normal for me. Thank you, Brienne. Okay. So now I have a frame. And I actually did 2 frames. I did one off screen. And those I will be able to glue onto the front of my card. So I'm going to have a shaped card. But first, I need to ink on this one. We're going to see how this goes. All right. I'm going to move my ovals. I'll put them away later. Or at least that's the plan. Let's get my grip mat back out. Hello from Michigan. Where are you in Michigan? We're from Frankenmuth. Where did I put my grip mat? Oh my gosh. People. I put it in the wrong spot. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take one of these ovals and use these water stencils on it. All right. So first, I just want a base of that waterfall color. I think I put it away. Yep. Now I could start with like a blue cardstock. I just didn't think about it. It won't be lost. It'll pop up. I bet it's in some of this like old projects that I haven't put away. Can you scroll up, Mike? Yeah, here's the thing. Somebody said they wish they had more space.
Fill it up.
The problem with more space, because I used to have a bigger craft room, actually, a much bigger craft room. The first craft room I ever had was giant. It was in our basement. I feel like, unfortunately, if you have a bigger space, you tend to overwhelm yourself. I am not from Frankenmuth, but my mom is. She's actually a Zender. If you're from there, you probably know her maiden name is Zender. How's that for? Okay, so I did just a little bit of waterfall first. Now I think I'll do more of the waterfall. I just want to see. I'm looking at the examples on the website because I sometimes like, okay, so there's like almost 20 examples of this stencil set on their website. So I can look at it and see what different kinds of waters looks are. Some of the examples have like dark as the base, and then they used like a white ink over it. So these little bits are lighter. There's a lot of great examples on the website. Frank Zender's chicken, yes. The deal right now, some people were asking because they just got here. Pinkfresh is offering a free stamp set with any order. And it's a big stamp set. It's this one right here. It covers an A2 card. It's called Painted Daisies. You need to add it to your cart and then use my code. And it's all in the top of the YouTube description. If you don't see the information there, you might need to refresh your page. All right, so I'm coming in with a little bit of paradise around the outside edge. Like, there we go. Kind of fading it off to the center. And look at this. I just know it's going to be great. Look at that. That's so cool. And then we have this one. Oh, and it lines up. Oh, that's cool. I think over this one, I'm going to do white. I'm going to come in with some white. Hold on, let me find my white. So this is, got my ink blending tool. When I use pigment inks, I oftentimes like to use the Tim Holtz foam brush. or foam applicator because I feel like it is an easier way to apply the white or the pigment ink. So this is Calico White from Pinkfresh. It's a great white ink. And I'm just dabbing it over the stencil. If you want it to be lighter, you can kind of do a swirling motion. But really, if you dab it, it allows you to put more ink down. So let's see what we got here and see if we like it. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? It kind of glows. Oh, I've got an idea. Hold, please. I have an idea. It could go poorly, but we're going to try it. This is unplanned. This is Perfect Pearls from Ranger. Mike, you're going to have to add this to the list, please. This is Ranger Perfect Pearls in Confetti White. One of the most inexpensive products that you can have in your craft room that adds the most wow in many different ways. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you know I've used it for years. I often will put it into, I keep a spray bottle of water with the Perfect Pearls in it, and it gives you like a pearlized mist. But here, I'm just using the Perfect Pearls brush to brush on a layer of the Perfect Pearls. Now, what will happen, go back and forth here to knock off some of the excess. What will happen is the pearl will stick to where that wet white pigment ink was. So I put it over the whole background. I'm going to buff off the extra. Just buff it off with a dry cloth. Now look at, wherever there was white pigment ink, can you see the shine? The pearly shine? So that's Ranger Pearl Confetti White. It comes in silver, blues, every color you can imagine. But isn't that pretty right there at the center? It adds to that water feel. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I do want to change one thing though, because I overthink things. I want a little bit of darker around the edge. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of the Paradise and just put that right. Yeah, I like that better. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that Paradise around the edge. So it's almost white at the center behind what I did. So it's like a glow there in the center. So let me show you again. Isn't that beautiful? There you can see the shine. It's just gorgeous. Another thing you could do is like a pearl paste. Altenew has a Shimmer Relief white pearl paste, and Hero Arts has a pearl paste too. Those would be beautiful, and that would give you like some actual texture too. So there's the front. Now I'm going to heat set this a little bit just so that we can move on. And then I'm not really sure what to do next. So earlier, this is what I did prep, as I kind of planned out my card. I do this a lot. Let me show you on my phone. I kind of laid out the die cuts for kind of a visual of how I'll put it together. And because I did that, I knew I needed more. I wanted a lot of lily pads. So by doing that, I knew I needed to do double. You could do less if you wanted to. Okay, so now this is my card base. I'm going to have an oval shaped card base, but I'm laying it onto an actual 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panel so that I know that I have to keep all my die cuts within this 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch craft piece in order for it to fit in an envelope. Okay, so I'm not actually this is not going to be part of my card. I'm just putting it there so I can start to plan. I'll put a magnet to hold it there. Now I want this to be a shaped card that looks like that water part's kind of floating. So I want to have my little lily pads kind of hanging off the edge. So let's see. I'm going to take some, I need to refill my glues. Let's start down here. Now normally I would probably put some added dimension behind this, but I don't think I'm going to today. Cassandra, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now my first lily pad I'm going to put down here. Notice that the edges of the lily pad hit right at the bottom of my guide and right to the edge of the guide. That way, when this is a shaped card and that brown piece is gone, it'll have a bottom edge to stand on. You'll see in a moment, but just bear with me. So this goes all the way to the bottom edge of my craft cardstock. Remember that craft cardstock will go away. Okay, then I'm going to look at my picture here. I want to have one over here too, and that's going to go to the bottom edge. Hi, Rosie. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so these, see how this goes right to the bottom edge too? So now I have basically, these are 2 feet. These lily pad would be feet that the front of our card can stand on. If I only had one here, it might fall to the side. But by having 2 feet, one over kind of on the left, one on the right, it'll stand up more. And this is something you can do with other shapes. You could do a circle, you could do a small rectangle, a square, whatever you want. In any die cuts, you could have flowers or butterflies here. But I love the lily pads and the water lilies because it's different. And again, this is Tranquil Water Lilies from Pinkfresh, and it's 15% off right now. All right, so let's see. I want to do, oh, I need my sentiment. That will help. I did do, right before I went live, I did stamp some sentiments. Let me show you where these sentiments are from. I want this one right now. This is the, let's see, I had the die out, I thought. Hold on. Where is it? Uh-oh. It took a nosedive. Oh, here it is. I stamped a bunch of sentiments right before I went live. And one of them that I want says, drifting by to say hello. And I thought that worked really well with the water. Now that drifting by to say hello is from another Pinkfresh set. Hold on, I don't have this lined up very well. It is from the Message in a Bottle. Again, so many people ask for non-floral images. Here's a good one. This is Message in a Bottle. And so it has these little bottle scenes and some great sentiments that go with it. Okay, so there's the stamp set. There's the coordinating stencils that allow you to color in those different bottles. There's a die that cuts them all out at once, and then there's dies for the sentiments. Now, if you prefer, instead of a stamp set, there are press plates available. That's one of the things, I've talked about this many, many times in lives, is Pinkfresh is really good about offering different products that go together. So you could do the press plates with the stencils and dies, the stamps with the stencils and dies. You can like pick and choose. And I would say, like this is something you could definitely easily color with markers. But for me, I'm a big fan of the stencils. I think it's much faster to do. But yeah, this would be good. You could do this for anybody. A lot of people really want traditional so-called masculine look cards. That would work for this, but I'm not, I don't know. I give the recipient whatever I think they'd like, whether it is floral or not floral, whatever. But drifting by to say hi, I thought would look nice in the center of this. Yeah, these flowers are fun. I think these flowers you could do, let me show you this. I think it would be fun to do like a pattern on the background. You could do like do a bunch of them and do like a pattern. So you don't have to do the lily pads with it. So you get the idea here. You could do a repeating pattern this way. So you could, pretend, keep going on. And then these could go in the center, or gems could go in the center. But you could really create a fun background with that without the lily pads. That's another thing I liked about this set, and what really drew me to it was that there's a lot of ways you can use it. It is a cool stencil and die set, isn't it? Super Pauline said, I want more press plates because as I purchased the BetterPress and I want to use it more. I agree. The advantage to, like for this set, that the Message in a Bottle set, I would have purchased just the press plates, the stencils and dies. I prefer press plates over stamps when it's an option because I get better crisp images with press plates than I do with stamping. It just is a matter of fact. Okay, so there's our greeting. But if you don't have a press plate, it's nice that stamps are available. Okay, so I'm thinking I want my drifting by to say hello right kind of in the middle. I'm gonna look at this. But first, let's look at these opposite corners. I want to get kind of some in the corners. So let's do like this one kind of right there. I really shouldn't do this with liquid adhesive because I should, you know, make sure I like it before I glue it down, but whatever, I'm going with it. And then this one I want to be kind of like that. So let's put some glue there. Like that. So see how I've got the corners just to make it look more card-like, I guess? You don't have to. But it is important to have these 2 feet here for what we're going to do. Okay. Yeah, thank you. What, Mike?
I didn't know if something came up.
I will say now, I do have giveaways. So you're eligible for giveaways on my live if you just leave comments in the chat. Now these, I do want to pop these suckers up. So let's do, I have some plain white die cuts here that I'm glued to the back. I want these to be a little oomphed up. Right, Mike? Technical term is oomphed. Zhuzhed. Zhuzh is when you add a little bit of something to a card, like some white gel pen dots or whatever. Oomph is when you add dimension. That's my plan. I think I'll do a foam dot too. Now, I just stacked 2 die cuts together, and I'm going to put a foam dot behind it. I would never put just a single layer die cut on a foam dot because it'll get crushed in the mail. But by layering up 2 of these die cuts together, it'll be okay. I'll put that one there, and I'm staying within the outlines of that craft paper. Then this one here, yeah, the colors do pop. And remember that craft edge there will go away. I mean, it actually looks pretty cool if you leave it, but oh, that one doesn't fit. I just realized these little water lilies, there are different sizes, which is nice. Let's see, does that fit behind it? Yep, let's put that one, kind of looking at my, let's see, I'm gonna do that one like right there. But then I'm gonna want a big mama. Here's a big mama. A big mama right like there. I like to have 2, see how I kind of got a triangle going? When I don't want like evenly spaced out pink flowers. So I want some to be kind of clustered together. So these 2 I want to be touching. So I actually will glue one down flat. So this one's gonna be glued down flat and touching this one that's popped up, flat and popped up. It is 2 stacked together though, so it has some dimension. So let's see here. I do want my sentiment in here, so I gotta make sure I have room. But I could let's put a big mama right here. No, let's do a smaller one so you can see more of the water. So put glue on the back of this and tuck it like that. No, I want a big one. This is what I do. Yes, a little frog would be lovely, or a little dragonfly or something. But I'm just gonna go with this today. They do look like little Pac-Mans, don't they? Kind of fun. And then I'll put one right here. So I am going kind of heavy on all the stuff on it, but I like that. Let's do a big one up here. Yeah, Lori said Pinkfresh is a go-to for me because they have press plate options. Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about what they do is she offers different options for you. You don't have to have a press plate or a BetterPress machine in order to use the product. You can instead, I need more dots. You could instead use the stamp set. Like I like that she has the options. This glue bottle here is a Gina K Connect fine tip bottle with her matte Connect glue inside of it. I use it every time I craft. Absolutely every single time. I never craft without it. Okay, that's gonna go right there. I did add extra die cuts behind the sentiment so that even though I'm only putting those little bits of adhesive foam tape behind it, it'll be nice and strong in the mail. That. So this guy, this guy is going to get kind of tucked in like this. Okay, now let's see. All right. A dragonfly would be great. Are the water lilies usually the center of the lily pads? Probably. But this is my make-believe card. That's one of the joys of crafting is you can do whatever you want. Yes, but if you, you could definitely put them at the center of the lily pads. I have floaters. Actually, I think I do want. No. I'm gonna have a little floater here. He's just on his own. Okay, then let's do a tiny one right there. I kind of like that. I think that works. Out of the little ones. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can use this. Yeah, it does have a tropical feel. So you could skip the lily pads and maybe do like regular leaves with it and have a completely different look. Or like the pattern I was starting to show you. So this one I'm going to put right up here towards the top. This I need to put some glue under. There we go. Zoink. Okay. I like that. I like that. I have some leftover bits. Oh, it'd be fun to make these spin. If you saw my last live, I'm all into spinning things now. All right, so now I have another large oval. Oh, I skipped the frame. I meant to put the frame in there, but I actually like it without the frame. But I could have put the frame underneath the lily pads, but I forgot. Would have been nice. Somebody asked, you struggle with where to put the sentiment. Well, I have a very unpopular opinion about sentiments. A lot of people don't like what I do, but I'll tell you what I do. I like to put my sentiments on the focal point of the card. Here, there really isn't a big focal point on the card, but say it was just a flower at the top center of a card, I'd put my sentiment right on it because you want your eye to go there. You want your eye to go towards that focal point, towards where the sentiment is, right? In this case, I like to put my sentiment like on the top third. So if you it's a little low, but usually like if you take a third here, and a third here, it's at the top third or the bottom third. Or you could put it dead in the middle. But really, I feel like kind of towards the top center here works. I could move it down so it's like right in the center too. But I think I'll just leave it up here. So really wherever you're, like if I had a card, say my card was like this, and I had, my hair is everywhere. I had this little cluster of lily pads and water lilies in the bottom corner. Say it looked like that. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I would not put my sentiment up here. It's just not what I would do because this is kind of the focal point and this just looks like a floater up here. Some people like that look, I get it. What I would do is have it kind of coming off of it because then it's part of the focal point. Does that make sense? That's what I do. But yes, Holly, as Holly says, you do you, whatever appeals to you. But for me, I like it to be in the middle of the madness. Okay, I have the other oval here. I'm putting it in the corner of my scoreboard. And I'm going to score it about a 1/2 inch from the top. Oops, it was crooked. About a 1/2 inch from the top here. So there's this little flap here. And I'm just going to fold it back and forth. Yeah, the rule of thirds. If you're curious about like design things, check out Kathy Zilski's video. She's really good at designs. Yes, as Cup and Ink says, I like it anchored near the main image as well. Me too. I like to anchor things. I don't like it kind of floating off, but man, isn't that cute? I know what I'm doing with leftovers. Okay, so I have this little hinge here. above that hinge, on that little flap, I put liquid adhesive and I'll glue it to the back. This will make the card open and close. Let me get lined up though. Come on, baby. There we go. Let's give that a minute to dry. I do want some bling bling. We need bling, Mike. Mike always thinks we need bling. Let's do gold at the center. Hang on, I'll be back. I'm just a-looking. These would be pretty. These are Pinkfresh Aqua, which I think would be nice in the water. I need a little. These would be nice scattered in the water. So this is Pinkfresh Aqua. Pinkfresh has gems that are clear with colored glitter on the inside, which is really nice because you get the look of glitter without the mess of glitter. All right, come on. I need a little guy. Here's a little guy. I'm using just a little pickup tool to pick them up and place them where I want it. Am I taking way too long on this card, Mike? What time is it?
4:07.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I am. I'm taking a long time. Whatever. Okay, so there we go. And then I need some up top. I like to kind of scatter like in a snake line. But I always make sure that there's like a visual triangle in it somewhere and that a couple of them are close together. So like there's a little visual triangle right here and these two are close together. And I usually like to have one kind of tucked behind my sentiment just so your eye kind of flows with it. Those add a lot of sparkle in real life. You can't see much of my perfect pearls. Yeah, you can. Because I put so many lily pads, I could have done less, but you can still see the shimmer in the background. But I do want something at the center of my water lilies. I think for that, let's do Pinkfresh Gold Glitter Drops. So these are like a goldish. And remember I used a little bit of gold at the center of those, so I will do these at the center. Let me see if I like that. Yeah. All right. Mike, are there any questions I can answer while I put these down?
Where'd you get the little bling tray?
This tray, this one is from, there's a lot of them out there, variations of it. This one is from Cat Scrappiness. I've been using hers for years and I have multiples because I misplace them a lot. There are other colored ones out there, but I really like this off-white color. Okay, there we go. So see now there's glitter in the water, glitter at the center of our water lilies. So now watch. This opens like that. So you can write your message in here. And because there's these 2 feet down here, it'll stand up nicely on display. So I don't know that you can see, but pretend this is your table. See those feet rest right on the table. And the back of the card rests on the table. So it stands up really well on display, but it also looks like a floating pool, kind of. And then I would match that up with a matching envelope. Let me get one because I feel like it's always, man, I've got lots of these left over, so I'll be able to make another card. Always good to have a matching envelope. I'm going to go with a pink envelope. My envelope here is from, this is Gina K. I'm out of her light pink. I probably would have, no, that looks kind of cool. See how it just makes it pop? And it'll fit in that envelope because I had that craft piece to use as a guideline underneath it. So everything I used on here is, everything here is on sale 15% off. And you get a free stamp set with any order. And all of that information is at the top of the YouTube description. If you don't see it there, we added it a little bit late because I had a little brain fart. So you might have to refresh your page if that's the case. Yeah, cardstock. Oh, if you're looking for cardstock deals right now, oh, that was yesterday. Oh, Spellbinders has, if you go to my crafty sales page, it's at the top of my website. There's information about the Spellbinders sale, and they are having a sale on favorites, and it includes a lot. Oh, I need more rubbing alcohol here. It includes a lot of cardstocks, so it's a good time to, if you need to invest in cardstocks. As far as envelopes, I use Gina K envelopes a lot. Simon Says stamp envelopes, Tailored Expressions, and Cards and Pockets. Cards and Pockets has really high quality envelopes, and they have like the square flap like this, or like a V flap. They have different sizes, so if you like A6 or 5/7, it's more of like a wedding invitation-y kind of place, but you can buy like one of a color envelope. And whenever they come out with new colors, I always grab them. They even have an envelope swatch book. I showed it in my crafty gift guide if you wanted to check that out. But there you go, there's the first card. I don't know how many I'm going to get to, but I'm going to try to get to 2 more. We'll see. All right. There you go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Next up, I do want to say that there are, there's that clearance section. Where'd it go? There's a clearance section over on the Pinkfresh website where you get an additional 30% off the prices there. I have it linked below. But there are sets like this one, the Pure Joy. This is another example. I should really have used this too, because it's great. But this is another example of there being a press plate, a stamp set, dies, and coordinating stencils. So you can choose what you like. But this one would be really cool because you can stamp or use the press plate for the outline. Then you've got the die that lines up and cuts it all out at once. Or you can keep it solid and cut this solid circle out from it and add that to your card, or do like a little shaped card. And then there are dies for the sentiments too. So this one's on sale. I have it out because I might, on one of my cards, use the hummingbird from it. There's a hummingbird in here. I considered using, let's see, this next one is from the new section, but I considered using this. This one's cool. This is the Bloomscape, and you can either stamp or use a press plate to create all of those, use the stencils to color them all in, and then use the die to die cut them all out. And I was thinking about doing a background of these flowers and add this hummingbird from it. So this is new, but this is in the clearance section. This is called Pure Joy. What's up? Everything good? Oh, okay. Lila's upstairs wrapping presents. Oh, Lila and Ken. Sorry, Ken needs a cartwheel. Okay, so we have here, this is Pure Joy, that's on sale. Let me show you some other things. I think this is also in the sale category. I did a live with this. This is Pretty Blossoms. Okay, Pretty Blossoms. And there's a stamp, there's a hot foil plate, then there's a die that cuts it out, and there are stencils. And I use that to create these see-through card bottoms. I had a bunch of cards like this. There, see? So the bottoms are see-through. I don't know, if Brian's still here, she could maybe find the video with this. Isn't that fun? But that's in the clearance section, so that will be an additional 30% off. The hummingbird's right here. See him? There he is. If you look in my YouTube description, Pure Joy is in there. The stamp set may be sold out, and they just have the press plate and stencils and dies. I'm not sure. But these are the things that are some of the things that are in the sale category. I think this one is too. It's called like Heart of Gold or something. Let me see. Heart of Gold, yes. This is I made with Heart of Gold. This was in another live. I did some partial die cutting. but I really like that image. You could also cut the bird off of it and use it alone. And this one is on sale. So this one, this stamp set is $5.60 just for this stamp set. So you can get big discounts on that stuff. Yeah, brand's awesome. So I just wanted to show you some of these different things that are on sale. So the clearance category that has an extra 30% off has a ton in it, but everything else in the site besides the new and the events and the gift cards are 15% off. So these are some that, oh, I forgot about this. This one I made on Black Friday Live. This is, I don't remember what this stamp set's called, but this is the Freesia Flourish. And that pops up on the inside. But there you can see the elongated ovals again. Aren't those fun? All right, I want to do something different. I was not in a floral mood today, so I'm doing non-florally things. But remember, this beautiful floral is the free stamp set that you can get. Brienne put the link to the live with the cards I just showed you in the chat. Okay, so next I thought I would use classic correspondence. Something a little bit different. This has like scissors, postage, envelopes, a fountain pen, and lots of great sentiments. And a lot of these sentiments would be great on an envelope, such as Happy Mail, I'm sorry for the late delivery, happy belated birthday, missing you, we always stick together. Thank you for handling me with care. Lots of great sentiments on here. So there is a stamp set. There is a press plate. So you could either use the press plate or the stamp set. The press plate also has the sentiments in here. There is a die, and then there are stencils. So really, you could use all of these things on their own, pretty much. But I think I'm going to make a shaker card because this fits nicely there. So I think I'm going to do a fun shaker card. And I think I will start with, I'll do the press plate. Okay, now please keep in mind, I'm using the press plate. If you don't have a press plate, they have the stamp set, and it's a big stamp right here. It's the exact same thing. But I'm going to use my press plate because, as I mentioned, I feel like I always get great results with the press plate. All right, so I'll put my press plate into my BetterPress system. Zoink. Okay, then take a piece of cardstock. Now this cardstock could be the specialty cardstock from Spellbinders. Spellbinders has the BetterPress cotton paper that allows you to get a deeper impression with the BetterPress, and Pinkfresh sells it, and it's on sale right now, 15% off. But I'm just using regular cardstock. So I'm putting that cardstock there. Let me get out my die cut machine. I'm using the Spellbinders Platinum. Have that ready to go. Now I will ink this up, and you really can ink this up with whatever ink you want. I find that there are specialty inks for the BetterPress. I don't use them. I just use the inks I have. Pinkfresh inks work great. I'm just using black ink here. I'll put that through, and you'll see I get crisp results. Look at that. Look at the detail. Can you see that detail? You don't get that with the stamp. I mean, it's just perfect. There's an additional 30% on clearance products, which is already applied and displays in the product. Regular products that are not in the new category will have 15% off, and the correct pricing shows. So the price is as marked. Okay, so the price is as marked. So if something doesn't have a discount shown on the product page, that means it's in the new category. Sorry about that, Greenery. I hope I'm explaining this well. Price is as marked. But remember, you have to add the free gift to your cart and use the code to get the free gift. I'm going to heat set this. I want it to be dry before I start stenciling. Oh, I'm going to do here. How's that for? Not sure. Oh, this is cute. I love the details of all these images. So I'm going to open up the product page for this, and that helps me to see like some examples of what colors you could use on different things. Oh man, there's a lot of great examples on here. Wow.
Would you spray on this cardstock?
What?
Would you spray on the cardstock?
I didn't spray anything on it. No, I didn't spray anything.
Oh, okay.
No, no spraying. Okay, I just did the image and then I'm heat setting it just to dry that ink because we're going to do ink blending over it. So I did the press plate, but you could have done the stamp instead. So now we have the stencils. Let's do stencil number 1. Oh, this is going to be so cute. Oh, for heaven's sakes. So you can do all of these things different colors. Let's look at the, oh my gosh. You got to go over to the product page for this because there are so many great examples, but I'm going to wing it here. Let's do peaches and mints. Let me look at, so let's do mint for our little book there. Actually, I think I'll go with that waterfall because I'm addicted to the waterfall. So I've got waterfall here. And I want to mask off everything else. So I'm just inking up that little notebook. So I'll go like around the edge. I'm going to do real soft, I think, on everything. I want a softer look. I want really bold on the first card. So kind of doing waterfall around the outside edge. And then do a little more on the outside edge. Just a little bit more. Just to give it a little shading, a little definition, but you don't have to. Okay, so that's nice. All right, there we go. That's the first image. Now the washi tape. Let's do that in a peach. I'll do that in cherry blossom. It's like a begonia color, a light color. Let's grab this. I need to mask that right there. I don't want to get any on my notebook that I've already done. So I just kind of ink that. And I could come in and do like a little shading in there if you want. All right, there's that. Then I might pull in some green too. Let's clean this off so I don't make a mess. I'll do a little bit of green. Let's do key lime on this little label here. Yeah, the images are great. Oh, I need more. So these are little Altenew alignment guides. I use them to mask, but you could use like a Post-it or whatever. I just prefer this because then I don't have to throw all the Post-its away. So I did key lime light, and now I'm just doing a little bit of key lime dark towards the edges. Let's see. Now, for this, I think I'll do a very light blue on that. Mike, are there questions that I'm missing? What are the questions I'm missing, Mike?
Let's see.
Oops. There we go.
Anyone ever tried to use a regular die and using it like a press plate?
If you go watch was it the previous live that I did? The last live I did, I showed about using a die in the BetterPress. So if you go to my last live, it'll show that. All right, so there we got some colors down. Yay. All right, stencil number 2 comes down here. Oh, that's easy to line up. That's nice. Okay, I think I want the handles here to be more the peach color. Put that on there. And then let's do a green for the envelope. Mask everything off. Okay, so I'm going to do light green for the envelope. I don't want it to be too dark, but I will come in and put a little bit of shading around the flap and the edges. Now, keep in mind, Pinkfresh inks soften as they dry, so a lot of the shading will really soften. So if you want it to really stand out, you need to do more. All right. Now I want leaf or grass here. And so this is going to be grass on those scenes. This is the center of the flowers. So I'll come in real heavy with a little yellow on there. It's not going to be true yellow because there's a little bit of blue ink behind it, but that's okay. Now we have the fountain pen and the lid and the shadow. Let's do Rocky Slope for that. And please keep in mind that I'm putting a lot of different colors and effort into this, but you don't need to. You could do all of it the same colors and it will still be great, but I wanted to have a bit of interest. There we go. This is a grip mat from Waffle Flower. The acetate has black on it, but the grip mat is clear. I just like it because I can see it really well. But any kind of grip mat would work great. This is stencil number 3. All right, so I need a different color green here. So let's go with something very different. This is eucalyptus. It's a different green. So let's grab and do that for the leaves and such on this. Then wipe some of that off. Then back to the envelope flap. Sorry I'm taking a lot of time to do this, but this is the fun part for me. Yes, these will all die cut together. And I'm going to show you something cool you can do with that. So there's the flap in green. Then we have the little ribbon on the notebook. And I think I'm going to do that dark. So this is Paradise, which is darker than that waterfall, but in the same family. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh my heavens, I love it. Okay, the next stencil is 4. Super easy to line up. Look at that. Okay, I think I'll do Pink Flowers. This is Cherry Blossom. Now that is going on top of the blue, but it still will be just fine. I don't have this lined up great. Line that better. There we go. So then I actually, since I did Cherry Blossom on the base, let's go a little bit darker. Let's go to Begonia. This is a beautiful, unique color from Pinkfresh. Let me show you it. Look at that color. It's really cool. It's like a muted, not too peachy coral color, I guess you would call it. So I put that on all those. Now what's this? These are the flowers on here. So let's do it on these flowers. And the little thing of the book. Let's do a blue handle. Jennifer's overthinking. Oh, you just won a gift card to Pinkfresh? Nice. This is a good time to use them. A store-wide sale and a free gift. Yeah. There we go. Now for the rest there, I think we'll do Rocky Shore on the scissors. I could do silver, but I'm feeling lazy. And this I'm going to kind of keep white, the bottle. I'm going to keep kind of white by just doing a little bit of gray on the edges. Then there's sky here. There we go. I think there's one more stencil. Oh my heavens, I'm in love. I am in love, Mike. Are you in love, Mike?
Not really.
No, he's not. He's not. Okay. Mike prefers doing things with pinball machines. Let's see. Mike went to a pinball convention and Mike bought some pinball machines. 4 of them. Hey, Michael, what are we going to do with you? I put my eucalyptus somewhere. I put it in the wrong spot, clearly, because I can't find it. There it is. It was in Emerald City. I have the spots on my in my ink storage labeled, so I know where things go back too, and I know if something's missing. So I'll do eucalyptus over those things, and then I did begonia over that. There we go. Oh, heavens, that's great. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Very little effort. I think that was supposed to be a sun back there, but I made it like a tree in the distance. That's good enough. Isn't that fun? Oh, I'm gonna have another mess to clean up. So now, I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna do this, but what you can do is line up the die and it'll cut all those pieces out individually. Okay? But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make this a shaker card. And I gotta figure that out, how I'm gonna do it. I don't know yet. Give me a second. I need to find something with interest. Okay, let me think. Is that big enough? Yeah, I think that's big enough. Okay, so I will take a piece of white cardstock. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Mike, Aaron has a question for you. Do you have PinBot?
No, I don't.
What that is?
It was at the convention, but it was not for sale.
There you go. Okay.
It's a good one.
So this is just a piece of white cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. It's got a little bit of a frayed edge here. I don't know why. And I'm going to die cut right from the center. I tried to center that up. And this is something you can do with a lot of the Pinkfresh die sets, and I'll show you some examples of other products she's got that you can do this technique I'm about to do. If you've taken any of the Pinkfresh events in the past, which I was telling you about, the one coming up is really good. I did a class once in the past, I don't know if you were in it, where I made it a reveal card. But I'm going to do this as a shaker instead today. Okay? So just bear with me. I got to think a little. Jennifer has to think. Okay, so this will be the front of the card. I might add some interest to that in a moment, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. Now this one I want to cut a little bit off the sides. I'm going to cut like 1/8 of an inch off each edge, so that this will be a bit smaller than this one that will line up with it. Okay? Just bear with me here. Okay, so that is, oh, I want to keep the centers of my scissors. Okay, so now I need some acetate. So I have a piece of Pinkfresh acetate. Mike, can you add their acetate to the supply list? Pinkfresh has really good acetate. I have a scrap of it here. It's full sheets of heat-resistant acetate. And I really like it because you can heat emboss on it with no problem. It won't warp. The other thing I really like about it is excellent to make clear card bases from. It's nice and heavyweight. And I use it all the time. I've done many videos with it, but I have a little piece left over here. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So I'm going to cut it to be a little bit smaller than that. Okay, so I've got a piece of clear acetate. You could definitely use recycled plastic or acetate for this. With this particular one, since the windows are kind of big, I would use a heavier weight piece of acetate instead of a really thin one. Off topic, do my nails come in different sizes in a pack? Yes. So all the, there's more than you need in there, so you can use whichever sizes fit your fingernails best, if that makes sense. And some of them are way too big for my nails and some of them are way too small, so they have a good variety in there. Okay, so I put tape or adhesive on the back of my frame, and I'll put the acetate on that. So now this has little windows. Got a little adhesive on the front. I'll use my adhesive eraser to take that off. So now there's windows. This is going to go over this, but I need foam tape. I will get out my foam tape. You can really use any foam tape here. You could use some narrow, or you can take a wider foam tape and cut it down the center, which I'll do here so you can see. This is Altenew foam tape. Altenew has foam tape in different widths and different thicknesses. This is the narrowest, which is 1/4 of an inch, and it's the thickest, which is 1/8 of an inch thick. You could go with the thinner if you wanted to. It really doesn't matter. I will put foam tape around the outside edges. Now this little piece, I'm going to put in some of these flat spaces. So there's like some supports throughout the back of my shaker window. I'll put a little support right here because nobody will ever see it. Oh, I have this here. My bad. Ooh. Altenew does have incredible foam tape. I will tell you, I have used many foam tapes over the years. This I find doesn't yellow. I find it doesn't stick annoyingly to everything. And it cuts beautifully. But the best part is like the side of it isn't sticky. So like if you put glitter in there, it doesn't really want to stick to the edges of the tape, which is nice too. I don't know what I'm going to put in this one today. We'll see. Okay. Oops. I cut that a little close. So I'm going to put in another one here because I want to make sure I have a seal all the way around the edges. Now some of these leftover pieces here, I'm just going to tuck in some of these open areas. That way, again, I have like little supports that will help it to hold up going through the mail nicely. So I will hold this up so you can see all of it. See? So see, there's foam tape all the way around and then little supports. If you're not a shaker person, I totally get it. Just put this down without the shaker on the inside and look at how it creates like little windows. You don't have to put any shaker bits in there. You don't at all. Now I'll remove the release paper on all of these. Actually, I shouldn't have done it this way. I shouldn't have done it this way, but I'm going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the release paper. And we need little shaker bits. I'm going to go to my go-to, which I seem to use on every shaker window. And that is the Honeybee Tiny Diamonds. Last time I looked, they were out of stock. Maybe they're back in. Mike, can you add them to the supply list? Where are my tiny diamonds? Oh, I'm running low. Honeybee Tiny Diamonds. I'm running low, but I do have backups. Thank goodness. See, I'm running low, but I have some extra. There's little bits in here of other stuff. I don't know how I did that. I think that was in my Black Friday madness. Take those out. There we go. Okay, so this should be enough. Now, I'm going to put my little gems over here in these areas. Like, I don't have any foam tape right there, so that's where I'm going to put all mine. And like spread it out there so that they don't get sandwiched behind some of the foam tape. So I'm going to spread this out right here a little bit. Good enough. There we go. Okay. I can also put some like up in here. Because there's foam tape that's going to be going between. I could have assembled the shaker a little different, but this is what I did. Okay. But now, here's the thing. I want to make sure that I get it lined up. And to do that, where's my adhesive? I will put liquid adhesive on all of my foam tape. By putting liquid adhesive on that foam tape, it gives me wiggle room time. It allows me to move the foam tape around before I let it dry. Foam tape, once you put it down, it's pretty much there. But by putting liquid adhesive on the foam tape, I just spread it out with my finger over all the foam tape. Then you have that wiggle room time to place it down and get it in the right place. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. My head's going to get in the way. I'm going to line it up with the images. So there we go. I lined it up, and now I'm going to put something heavy on that while that dries. You don't want to shake it just yet, because remember I put liquid adhesive on the foam tape. I don't want anything to get stuck in there. Where's my other? Can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. These I can glue onto the front to complete that little window look. I'll go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to put, oop, you could skip this part, but I might as well do it. Hold on. Okay. And this one goes over here. Is Mom bringing the pot roast? Okay. And then this one goes here. And that kind of completes that look. So let's put that to dry. I need a sentiment. So let's look. There are lots of sentiments in this classic correspondence set that I think work for a lot of different occasions. And I stamped some at the beginning. If I can find those. Remember how I had stamped sentiments? I see them. I have a few different ones there. Some of those are from different sets too. So I'm going to choose one. So from this, the Just Saying Hello is from the classic correspondence. I think all the others are from a different stamp set. Let's see if I can find what they're from. From this one? I don't know what they're all from. Are some of them from this? Here for you. Oh, this is from the other set that I might use. I'll show it to you in a moment. But it's the time, the one that has the time in it. So here we go. This is it. Good Times. So the other sentiments are from the Good Times stamp set, which if I have time, I'll use, but I don't know that I'm gonna have time to use it. Because this works really well with the technique I'm doing too. So I'll come back to this. But I think I'll use Just Saying Hello and putting it right there. All right, so let's see. Is there a die for that? Actually, hold on. I'm overthinking. You've been on my mind constantly would be good too. I don't know that there is a die for Just Saying Hello because it's like a perfect little rectangle there. I wonder if that one would be good. Grateful for you for every moment. Hold please, I'm just overthinking everything. Thank you for handling with care. You're a first-class friend. That might be cool. Let's see what that die looks like. You're a first-class friend. That kind of covers up too much. I think I'm going to go with the Just Saying Hello and cut it out as a little rectangle. That's what I'm going to do. So the Just Saying Hello here is from the classic correspondence. I don't know if I'll have time or not. It depends on how things are going. I'll have to check. So this is, I want to cut this into a little rectangle. I could find a die to do that. This is what I'll do. I'm going to put a piece of foam or piece of Post-it note right where I want it to cut along the bottom there. And then I'll put this into my trimmer, line up the edges of the Post-it note with the trimmer blade and cut. And now I know that's cut straight across the bottom. Then I can cut the other sides, and I know I can square this off and it'll be a nice rectangle. There we go. Again, you could find a little rectangle die for this, or maybe like the oval die would work, but I like the little rectangle, and we're gonna just pop it up on there. Perfect. I think that'll go great there. I could change it. I could change it and be black with white letters. That's another option. But hold on. I like missing you. Sorry. Does anybody else do this? Please, somebody tell me they do this. They overthink all of it. Good news is I can use that leftover sentiment I just did on another card. Does anybody else overthink all of them? All of the sentiments. Okay. Look at this was my practice round. I'm using that paper. I'll stamp Miss You on this. Let's do black ink. Now I think this would actually look really cool on black paper with white heat embossing, but I'm feeling a little lazy, so I'm just going with the black on white. By the way, there are press plates to do these sentiments too, but I've got the stamp right here, so I'm going with it. Okay. Overthinking is your daily go-to. Laura, I'm the same way. I overthink all the things. How many Christmas cards did I send out this year? Who asked that? Where is it? Somebody asked. I need to call this person by name. Okay. Jalen asked how many Christmas cards I sent out this year. 0. A few years ago, I stopped sending out holiday cards. I do this for a living, so it's kind of, I don't know. By the time holidays come, I have billions of cards, and I could send them out, but I don't. Instead, I used to send out a ton, like 175. But now, I instead send the holiday cards I make to people in my Facebook group and people who've sent me cards and stuff. And that is what I'm going to be doing, like on the morning of Christmas Eve when we have some downtime. So they'll get them late, but I think that's okay. A lot of them are just like winter themed cards anyways. If you notice, a lot of times when I make use holiday card products, I put a different sentiment on it. So, like I might use a Christmas tree, but put thank you on it or thinking of you. So it can be done anytime around the holidays or sent anytime around the holidays. But no, I don't send any family cards out anymore. Maybe one of these years, but the past few years, just not it. No, especially this year. It didn't even cross my mind. Oh, look at that. Okay. It didn't even cross my mind to send them this year. Isn't that sad? If this were my hobby, I would. I make cards all the time, and it's just, I don't know. There we go. So now, see how it just shakes around, but you can see all of those images in there. And I intentionally used clear pieces in there, so it doesn't take, doesn't hide what's behind it. That's another reason. Somebody said pressure. That's another reason I think I don't send them, because people expect, I think this is my own, I think people expect me to do something really crazy good or like put a lot of time in. I don't know. I tend to, if I feel like there's an expectation, I tend to run in the other direction, which really isn't a good thing, but I'm just being honest. There we go. There we go. I'm going to mat this. This is Spellbinder's Waterfall cardstock, and I found Spellbinder's Waterfall cardstock goes really well with Pinkfresh Waterfall ink, which I used. Now this background was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so I'm cutting this to be bigger. I'm cutting this to be 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. Yes, that is bigger. It'll be okay, I promise. I'll show you what I'm doing. Let's put glue all over that. I'm running out of glue. Put this on top. So there's a nice blue trim. Oh, I'm loving this card. See, I would make a bunch of these. Okay, I can't find my other block, so my phone's gonna work. Okay, next, I need a note card. So that blue background is a little bit bigger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. It is 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to put it onto an A6 card base. I have a bunch already pre-cut. A6 card base is, I'll write it so you can see it. It is 4 1/2 inches wide by 6 1/4 inches tall. Okay. That will fit into an A6 envelope. Let me get an A6 envelope out. I buy all my A6 envelopes on Cards and pockets, they have tons of them. I'm just looking for one that will kind of match-ish. I think I'll just go with white. Let's go with white. So this is an A6 envelope. I recommend having A6 envelopes because say you do a A2 card and you want something hanging off, it'll still fit in the envelope. And it's the same shipping cost as if it were an A2 envelope. It's just a little bit more. So this is going to fit in here. Okay. So this is an A6 note card, 4¼ by 6¼ 4½ by 6¼ inches. So I'm going to glue that on there. My card's shorter. I could have made it taller, but that's okay. I'll just cut it to be shorter and it'll fit great into the A6 envelope. My phone case, Stringberry, I think it's called. There we go. Look at that. So the overall size of this ends up being 4½ hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 3/4. That's right, 4½ by 5 3/4, but it fits nicely in an A6 envelope. To make a A6 envelope, or an A6 card base, I'll show you what I do. There are many ways you can do this. This is what I do. It's the simplest. Where did my scoreboard go? Can't find my scoreboard. I'll tell you. Hold on. Today I'm losing a lot of stuff. It's not good. I take an A2 panel and fold it in half. Or sorry, an 8½ by 11 panel and I fold it in half. So this is 8½ by 11, folded in half. And then this can be cut down to 5 by 7 very easily. So there's 5 by 7. Or you can cut it to 4½ by 6¼ So I start with a folded piece of cardstock and I keep all of these pieces. I keep these pieces in a drawer next to me so when I need to stamp a sentiment, I can do it on here. And then these I can also cut down and be like dimension behind things. So I keep all the scraps. But really this ends up being a panel that is 6¼ by 9 inches and you fold it in half. This is the Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer from Tonic. I highly recommend it. I've been using it for a gazillion years and I think it's fantastic. This size envelope does not require more postage than an A2 envelope. Think about it. When you buy a card at the grocery store, they almost always are in 5 by 7 envelopes, big envelopes, right? And it takes regular postage. So the smaller envelopes, the other sizes are the same. They'll take regular postage. What matters is how thick it is. If your card is thicker, whether it's an A2 or a big 5 by 7, it's going to cost more to ship. So the thickness makes a difference. Also, square envelopes cost more too. So if I make a square card, I put it in a regular envelope, even though it can move around in there, and then it doesn't cost more. So there we go. Now, one of the things I had considered doing was adding like a heart to that and a heart in here, but I didn't do it. I could put it on the window. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to put a little heart on there. Let me find a little heart die. This is Simon Says stamp. I think it's like Heart Party or something. It cuts a bunch of little hearts. But here I can use this scrap that I just cut off and cut a bunch of hearts. These also work as confetti inside of shaker cards. Yes, square envelopes cost more to ship, even if it's a nice, thin, flat, lightweight card. Unless they change the rules on that, I don't know. For me, I don't know of them changing the rules, but I never mail a square envelope because I know it's going to cost me more. Oh, that's nice. A little heart there in the center of that. We'll do a little heart here in the center of this too. Because why not? That's cool. There we go. Isn't that fun? Okay, classic correspondence. I really like that one. So let me tell you, remember, for this card, it was one of the Pinkfresh images where there is like a big stamp or big press plate, and then it cuts all of them out at once. So I was able to use that for the front of our card. A lot of Pinkfresh are like that. So let me show you. This was the other one. I had just gotten it out, now it's gone. A lot of Pinkfresh would work for this. This is the Bloomscapes. There's a stamper press plate, but it does all of those flowers, right? Then there's the die that cuts all of those out. So you could use this to cut from white cardstock and have that be the front of your shaker window. And it would have all these little flowers that you would have set back. So any of the Pinkfresh where there's a large image with a large die that cuts them all out, you can do this technique, okay? Which I think is really fun. Let's do one more. I'm just throwing these things aside. I have no idea where I put my other card. I am in a particular messy state today. What was the first card I made? I can't even remember. No, where'd I put it? Mike remembers. I don't remember. I don't know where I put it. Hold on, I gotta find things. No, it wouldn't be. How do I lose a card that quick? I don't know. Oh, no. Yes, it's over there. Okay, if you could grab that, that'd be great. Okay, this next one, I wanted to use some non-floral ones. Mike, can you add the envelope, cards and pockets to the supply list?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 cards so far. I wanted to do another one that's non-floral, and I was considering message in a bottle, but I think I'm going to go with good times because I think this can be used for a lot of different things. Like you could even do like a clock and then do like, I'm sorry for the late delivery underneath it, or happy belated birthday, since it kind of goes with time. So I'm going to use the good time because I think these clocks can be used for a lot of things. Let me show you the options once again. There's a stamp set, press plates, which are the exact same images, so you can get one or the other. The dies cut out your clocks and the sentiments. And then stencils to color in the clocks, okay? I like the clocks too. So I will tell you right now, remember the card we just made? The card I just made. You could do the same thing. And the shaker window could be like right here. So your shaker would be kind of at the top. So you die cut here and have the clocks behind it. And then just stamp a sentiment like right here underneath it. And that would be the front of your card. So you could do the exact same card design, same steps, but using this product instead, okay? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I could do that because I think it'd be cool with the 3 clocks, but I really should do something different. I thought about making this guy wobble, like an alarm clock. You know, like an alarm clock could shake. So I thought about that. Or I could make them pop up. Yeah, I love florals too, but sometimes you want to do something different. I think I'm just going to go simple. And I think I'm going to make a really simple card using this and making him shake. But I'll use the other clocks for something else. Okay, I'm going to use the press plate. You could use the stamp set if you prefer, but I'm doing the press plate because I always get a better image with it. Yeah, it would be. You could do little clock bits in there. Yep, you could. The wobble, let's go with the wobble. It'll be fast. Let's do press plate. You could do the stamp instead, but again, I always get better results with a press plate. I have a piece of plastic, really, really thin plastic, taped onto the top of my press plate. The reason I do that is then I don't have to try to clean the gray mat on here. If I get ink on it, just comes off really easy. Okay. There we go. I'll do a wobbler. Mike, can you add wobbler to the list?
Yeah.
Okay, action wallet. Okay, so I put some tape on the top there. Ink this up, I'm just using black ink. You can use colored inks here. I'm just doing black. I just looked and I did not ink that up well, but it's good enough. It's that time of the year where you're like, okay, just good enough, you know? And that's where I am here. I mean, it is rare when you don't get a perfect image. Oh, perfect. I didn't even ink it up well. Look how crisp that is. Look at that. Isn't that outstanding? It's not acetate. It's like thin, super, super thin packaging. You know, like the thin packaging stencils come in. I cut that and I taped it to the top of my press plate, or my BetterPress, so that I can easily just wipe the ink off of it. You don't have to do it, but you want to make sure it's super thin so that you don't add any bulkiness into the sandwich. You don't want a thick piece of acetate there. Okay, so there we have our clocks. So again, you could do the exact same kind of card I just did. Okay, but it is better than horrible. I'm gonna heat set this. Now there are stencils to color this. I'm once again, to help myself out here, I go to, it's called Good Times. Oops. Trying to do two things at once here. I look at the website, at Pinkfresh website for examples. To see how you know, different color options. Oh my goodness, those are cute. Ah. Okay, you've got to go see the different examples they have. Huh. So cute. Okay. But I've done all three of those. Now let's start inking them. I've stamped that. Let's start inking them. Stencil number 1 is the faces, kind of. Yeah. I think I'm going to use this one. This is the one I'm going to use. I might as well do the others, even though I probably am not going to use them. I think I'm going to leave the faces white on all of them. I'm just looking at what the final results would be here. I think I'm going to leave the faces white. But this clock here I'm going to do in blues because you know me. I like my waterfall ink. You should see my desk. Mike, come over. Can you do me a favor, Mike? Can you come over here? Take a picture of my desk and then post it. And then you can share it in the live. I don't care. So you can see the madness that this is. Okay, he's gonna share a picture of reality. There we go. Okay, so those faces are gonna be white. Then the next stencil does like different parts. All right. I want this to be like a silver, but I'll just do gray. So Rocky Slope. I'll just do some gray on here. Do kind of uneven, so there's some depth to it, I guess. So gray to that. Then this, I think I want this to be a, let's do green. We're gonna have a blue and green clock. Just put this over here to block those. All right. Mike's gonna share the picture once he downloads it. And I'm gonna regret it. This is gonna be madness. All right, so I'm doing key lime on this. So we have blues and greens on this guy. There we go. Oh, this one. Let's do, I got begonia right here. Let's do begonia.
There you go.
There's my mess. Oh my gosh, that is such a, why'd you get me in it? That's a very unflattering photo, Michael.
Oh, you saw where I was standing when I took the picture.
Oh, good thing I have no pride.
Whatever.
That's my, it's okay. It's what I look like. Wait, show it again. Can you see my pajama pants?
Go back now.
Oh,
Yeah.
See my pizzas on my pajama pants.
Pizza pants.
And you can see that behind me, like to the right of where I'm standing, is stuff that I haven't put away from Black Friday. And what's way out on my desk by the yellow chair is the Pinkfresh class that I'm working on. Yep, this is me. I am what I am. Okay. So just in case you think, for some strange reason, that I have my act together, you're very, very mistaken. Just in case you want to know. It's reality. It's reality. Okay, so I'm really loving this begonia color. So I'm doing that on the clock outline, the one we're going to use. I'm trying to go kind of uneven, just for a little fun. That's a woman on a mission. Well, I actually caught your live gen. Oh, you poor purple scorp comes in, and that's the view that she gets. Lucky her. Let's go with cherry blossom next. So I did begonia on the top round clock. This bottom one here, I'm going to go in with lighter cherry blossom, which is just lighter than the begonia. Just add those details. And then the big clock, I'm going to use Paradise because everything's out. Oh, I'm such a mess, if you guys only knew. Ask Brienne. She knows what a mess I am. In fact, Brienne sent me this as a gift. My emotional support dumpster fire. It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. I think that's hilarious. One of my favorite gifts I've ever received. It usually sits up behind me, but I replaced everything behind me with some stuff that Lila made, so I set it over to the side. This would be pretty in browns and like gold details, but oh, it's cool in blues and greens. And then I think there's one more stencil. I have to clean all this up. That stinks. Okay, details. Oh, I didn't do my flowers over that last stencil. I got to go back and do my flowers. So over this, I want to do dark green. I'm not a genius. I can assure you of that. Ask Mike. There's nothing genius here. It's chaos, insecurity, and touch of madness. Okay, so there we go. Then I want darker than begonia. It's the mulberry bush. This is a beautiful color too. It goes nicely with the begonia. Here's the begonia from before. This is the mulberry bush. So I'll do that onto this guy. Dark color here. Then I think I'll do gold on that, because why not? Oh, gold on here. This is Lisa Horton Gold Metallic ink once again. Okay, now, oh my gosh, that is so much fun. I should have done silver there. Oh well. Controlled chaos. Well, Mike, do we have control around here? I don't know that we do. No, we don't. I'm going to do different color flowers because that's the flower I'm going to use. So I'll do marigold, waterfall, and cherry blossom. So let's do a marigold flower. So a yellow flower. Let's do a waterfall flower. And let's do a begonia flower. There we go. Look at that. And remember, I could have done the faces a color, but I wanted to keep them white. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. I lied. I want this, the face over here on the blue and green clock. I want that to be light. Very light waterfall. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. So there we go. Let's just ignore the mess. Pretend it's not there. And die cut this out. Aren't these cute? I love that they're different. So many people say they want to see more non-florals, not because we don't like florals, but just for something different. And Pinkfresh is good at that. There was another one I considered using. Oh, the Flower Market, I think it's called. But that sounds like it's floral. It's not really floral. This one. This one has like plants in it and sentiments like rooting for you, you plant kindness wherever you go. And it also creates, the stencils create like a little market, like a little stand that you can put your plants in. So it says flower market, but it really is just more plant-like. I like that, that's different. A lot of things you can do with that. You could even just do a simple card without the stand and just have those going across it. I almost used that one, but decided not to. Look how cute that is. Mike, did you see how cute that is?
Yes.
Yeah, the market one is cute. So all of these things are on sale, 15% off now. And they also have a clearance section that has the 30% off of that. So I'm not going to use these two right now, but you could use all three on one. Like you could have them lined up next to each other, or you could kind of have them overlapping a bit like this, and then put like a sentiment down here. So many things you can do, but I'm going to go with just a simple little one because I like that alarm clock looking one. And I'm going to make a move. Oops, I did the wrong side. Hold please. One more layer. Yeah, not so crafty Mike. He doesn't care. Are the clocks new? Nope. I don't think the clocks are new. No, because they're on sale 15% off. So no, they're not new. So yeah, these clocks are 15% off. And then you get that free gift. I did it again. That free gift with any purchase. Okay. All right, so that's stacked. Oh, that's so cute. So I'm not going to use those guys, but they're available to use afterwards. Now, I think I'm going to use one of those oval dies. Let's see. I don't know which size. Let me look at a few of them. Look at how that fits right on there. And then cheers to good times ahead. Grateful for every moment with you is nice. Here for you always, that's nice too. All of those fit there nicely. You could do the I'm sorry for the late delivery or happy belated birthday. That's a little bit too big for that. I think I'm going to go for the here for you always. I think too many people need encouragement right now. So I'm using one of the elongated ovals once again from Pinkfresh. So I'll cut that from white. Let's see if I have a piece of scrap. I've gone through all my white scraps. I've been a good girl and used them all up. Okay. Then I need a background. I have a few options for a background. Oh, then there's this. This stamp set's good too. Here for you sentiments. Some of these would work well with it too. I like the here for you here. I mean, look at the style of that. Isn't that cool? Just saying hello. That's nice. That kind of fits anywhere. There's press plates and a stamp set and dies for this. But I still think I like the here for you always that's in the set. But any of those, the just saying hello, I love the size of that. That would look really nice on here too. So we're going to go with that. And that's going to be there. Right? Okay. I do need to figure out, let's keep this in the camera because I think a lot of us can relate to that right now. I do need to figure out a background. All right, Misty, stamp a sentiment on here. Just a few for what? What was that? I missed that. Here for you always. So let's try to, I'm going to try to center this up towards the bottom. Normally I would put a piece of acetate over this and stamp it on the acetate to make sure I like the position, but I'm feeling lazy, so I'm not going to test it first. I'm just going to stamp it on the oval, and if I mess up, I mess up. It does have an Alice in Wonderland feel, doesn't it? There were press plates for this. I could have used press plate for the sentiment, which I probably should have because it's so detailed, but I was able to stamp it well. Okay. We had game night last night. Who has played Catan? If you are a family that likes to play games, Catan is great. Everybody in our family loves games except for Ken. He does not enjoy games, but he will sit by us while we play them. But Catan, it's for 4 people, but we had more, so we ended up having teams. And Colin has learned it in college and got us to learn it, and boy, is it fun. Boy, is it fun. There's a little learning curve, but it's fun. Okay, that is so stinking cute, but I need a background. There are a lot of different, oh, I know, oh, it's in the other room. I wanted to use the Octagon, but it's in the other room. Hold on, I'm gonna try this one. Let's see if it's in stock before I use it, because that makes people angry when I use something that's not in stock. Oh, good, it's in stock and it's not new. I am going to use the Pinkfresh Stitched Chain Cover Plate die. Mike, can you add it to the, I put it on the link deli list, but can you put it in the thumbnails or in the YouTube description? I love their cover plates. I have used their cover plates a lot in videos, and there are a few reasons I like cover plates from Pinkfresh. This is the Stitched Chain. The reason I like this cover plate, or a lot of their cover plates, is that it doesn't cut an outside edge. Now that doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you want to do this directly on the front of a note card, you can. So you don't have to have an added layer on top of it. So I'll put this on my plate, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So I just put right on the front of my note card. There's a fold line right there. So I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and it'll put that pattern on the front of the card. Oh yes, we did get the extension so that more people can play. We did get that, we just didn't have it last night. It is a really fun game. One of Lila's friends loves playing games, so whenever we play games, we have her come over. Okay, so look at, it's my note card, but the front has that detail. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't talk about anything besides crafting. Oh, that's boring. I want color. Yeah, I usually stick to crafting talk, but every once in a while I have to throw out some fun tips like a good game. So I don't like the white on white. So I think I want, these are from Spellbinders. Ooh. So these are the light color is chiffon. The darker one is Sicily, which is one of my favorite colors. And this is Bellini. But I have to overthink for a moment. I kind of like it on the light. Then the clock stands out. But this is my favorite color. I could put a matte, an oval matte behind it, but I don't know. I don't think I want a big matte behind it. Let's see. So like I could do, yeah, see, I don't want it to be that big. I should find the oval, the plain oval die, but I think I'm just going to do the light. But do know that Spellbinders Sicily cardstock matches well with Pinkfresh Begonia ink. There we go. Oh, you like the dark. Oh, let's do a poll. Mike, we need a poll. All right. Good point. We need a poll.
I gotta get in.
Oh, Mike's gonna look. We have 3 colors here, and I'm gonna do the note card that color with that texture on it. So it'll be a pretty simple card. And there are 3 colors. This is chiffon, Bellini, and Sicily. Everybody's saying Sicily. Are you able to do it? Pull?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, Mike's putting the pull up. Give him a
I
second.
don't know how to spell any of those words.
Chiffon is Chiffon, I think. Bellini, you can do Bellini.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Bellini.
Yep.
And then Sicily. It's the country. This is well, he's going to put at the top of the chat a poll, and you can vote for the 3 colors, chiffon, Bellini, or Sicily. In the meantime, I have a little tiny action wobbler here, and I'm going to stick it to the back of my alarm clock, and then remove the release paper from the other side. And then this I will place onto my oval. My head's going to get in the way, okay? I'm sorry. I'm just going to lay it down flat on there till I like where it is, and then I press it down. Is the pull up?
Yep.
Sorry, are you counting my grays? Okay. Because there's a lot. No one wants to count that high. Okay. There we go. And it flattens to go in an envelope. I mean, look how much that flattens. And then it springs up and it'll shake, which I think is fun for an alarm clock. Even if you don't want whatever to really be a shaking element, it's great for just dimension. So you could even put a flower on it. Okay, what's everybody voting, Mike?
Sicily.
Sicily. You guys want me to do the dark. So I'll do the dark. I wasn't going to do the dark, but I'll do the dark. I could make it a matte, a white matte, so that it would be the dark with a little white matte and then this. Or I could just do it all. I think I'm going to do a matte. Okay. So I'm going to cut this to be a little bit more than 4 by a little bit more than 4 1/4. So it'll look nice on a white note card with a little white trim. So here you can see, here's my white note card. It's going to go like that. Cut a little bit more off the side. Okay. Now, I could just do a Sicily note card, a dark note card, and do the texture right directly on the front of my note card. But I decided I'm going to layer it instead. But it's nice that you can use this directly on the front of a note card, right? So I will hold that on there. And let's run this through. You just run it through like a die. Oh, or you can make an impression. I'll show you both. Because clearly I don't want to do anything that requires responsibility for the rest of the day. Lila I remember when I was a kid, I loved wrapping presents. I still do, I just don't have time for it. But Lila is so into it right now. So there we have our texture. Hold on. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Let me glue this, and while it's drying, I'm going to show you another way you can use that plate. If you watch my previous live, you can see how to use a cover plate in the BetterPress. I'm not going to demo that now, but you could use this one in the BetterPress. It doesn't work quite like a press plate, but it still is fun. I keep losing my... I need to clean. Oh, if you were in my last live, you heard me say I was going to spend the weekend cleaning. I did. I spent yesterday cleaning, but I mostly just got cleaned upstairs, and not even all of upstairs. But I did put some away here. I put a few days of Black Friday away, but I know this is going to be a long road before I get it all put away. And I leave the day after Christmas to meet the grandbaby. Okay, so I am going to make an impression with that cover plate next. You could use the cover plate just like a die, which I did, but you can do this. If you have a flexible embossing mat, which most machines come with, you can use that instead. So I'll just demo it. I'm going to take my cover plate and a piece of cardstock. This cardstock's too big, but that's okay. I'll lay it onto that flexible mat and follow the instructions for making an impression or dry embossing with a die. So this will give you a little more texture because you're using a flexible mat behind it. It'll give it a deeper impression, but I want to show you both because you could do either. You know me, I love when you can have multiple uses for something. So let me show you a comparison between the two. This one on the left is using the cover plate as a die. It just cuts those little slits. This one is where I use the cover plate with the embossing mat behind it. So see how it's more of an impression for all those cut lines, whereas this is more cut lines. Does that make sense? So you can do either. I've already glued this one down, but I really like this one too. I mean, they're both beautiful in real life. So I'll save that for something else. So now I'm just going to glue this on here. I do want, oh, very exciting. Abby's excited about something. Okay, I do want to put some details on my clock because, you know, there we go. Let's get some magnets. Put a magnet up there to hold that down, and a magnet down here. Hold that down. Now let's put some blingies. Oh, look at this. I have some laying out. Some spilled before. Just kidding. I'm just going to put a bling at the center of the clock. That's it. So I'll use one of these that's sitting out. They're like little iridescent gems. I'll just put one right at the center. I think that's all I'm going to do. I could do more, but so there we go. So now the clock shakes. So this one would be great, I think, for like a belated birthday. The clocks would be. Or, I mean, a lot of these have sentiments that work. Like this classic correspondence has, it takes a long time to grow an old friend. I like that. You've been on my mind constantly would work with the clocks. And then, of course, all the sentiments that are in the clock set. Like you're a true friend through all times. Cheers to good times ahead. Grateful for every moment with you and here for you always. So I feel like it could be used for a lot of things. Kind of like the lily pad sentiment that I used said, drifting by to say hello, worked with that water, right? But it also worked with the message in a bottle. So look for ways to use your sentiments in different types of cards so you can get more use from them, use out of them. In a moment, I'm going to do, and this was the stitched chain cover plate. I love that one. It's beautiful. You could do, like put gems in the pattern and just do a background with it. It's just really a great one. Now, I'm going to do a giveaway in a moment. So if you have not left a comment in the chat, I would go ahead and leave a comment now. Mike's going to pick a winner in a few minutes. We have two giveaways. We have two. Let me find them. Okay. Woo! Oh dear. These are good giveaways too. Hold on. Okay. So the giveaways include these products. These products I saw in the clearance section. I've used this one a few times in videos. This is the garden tapestry. There's a press plate, there is a stamp, there's a die set, and there are stencils. And you can see all of those there. So one winner will get that. It's garden tapestry. I have a card I made with it somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. I did do a card with it in a live video. No, I must not have grabbed it. So that's the garden tapestry. So one winner will get the garden tapestry collection. Another winner will get the Making Things Happen collection. This is also in the clearance. So we have a stamp and a press plate. You could use either. Then stencils that will color it in. Then the die is nice because it cuts that frame, like a floral frame, and you can put anything you want in the center. So I've used this one in a live too. It's one of my favorites. I think I did a video with easel cards with both of these. So there's the 2 collections for 2 winners. Mike, did you happen to pick 2 winners?
Yep.
All right, who are our 2 winners?
The first one for Garden Tapestry is Virginia Folsom.
Virginia Folsom, you win the Garden Tapestry. If you go to my blog, at the top it'll say contact us, and you can get give us your address. So Virginia, you win this set. And then the Making Things Happen goes to
Laura Adams.
Laura Adams. Laura Adams, if you go to my website and send us a message, we will get this sent off to you. To get included in giveaways during my lives, you just have to leave a comment in the chat. So Mike goes and randomly picks people from the comments in the chat, and that's how we do it. It's very, very formal. But Mike is really guilty of including extras in giveaways, and also a card, a handmade card by me. So we have our 2 winners of those. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Look at it. Looks like my room's so clean behind me. It's not. All right. So I think that's it for today. So a reminder, Pinkfresh has 15% off site-wide. It does exclude the newest category, but I didn't use any of that today. And it does exclude events because that's already marked down. And it excludes gift cards, which makes sense. But everything else is 15% off. The clearance section has an additional 30% off. So the prices, if you go to the website, the prices show you, make it easy. Right there on the product page will be the price it is. So you don't have to do any calculations. However, for my viewers only, my friends here, you can use my code and get a free stamp set. This is the free stamp set. It's called the Painted Daisies. Let me do it overhead. This is the Painted Daisies. You get this free stamp set, which fits nicely on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. You get this free stamp set with any purchase, but you have to add it to your cart and use my code in order for it to work. And that's all in the YouTube description below. Keep in mind there are coordinating stencils and die that you can buy to go with your free gift if you want, but this could be beautiful just on a background. And so, yeah, so that's it for, and this is all through the evening of the through the 22nd. Okay. Brianne, thank you for sharing all those links. So if you need to find anything I used here, the best thing to do is to go to the link at the top of my YouTube description that has the word live in it. If you go to that, it'll open up a new page. At the top is all the information about the free gift and sales, and below that are thumbnails to everything that I used. So if we added anything during the live, you'll see all those thumbnails there. You just need to refresh the page if you already have it open. Your phone is overheating, Brianne? Oh, I better stop. Yes, he does, Marissa. And that's it. I think that's it. That's it. I might go live again before the holiday, but I'm not sure. But if I'm back from visiting the grandbaby, I will probably go live on New Year's Eve day or New Year's Day. I will let you guys know. All right. Well, thank you, Pinkfresh, for the great, generous free gift. If you have any questions, a really good place to ask questions is in my Facebook group. Our Facebook group is called Share Handmade Kindness. You just have to answer the questions to get in because we try to keep, people out that don't want to talk about crafting. And it is a very happy, nice place. Everything is moderated by moderators, so it's all positive and it's all happy. It's like a crafting utopia. But that's a great place to ask any questions because I'll see it there, and also a lot of people in there will have answers for you. So you can just search on Share Handmade Kindness on Facebook. And I hope you all are having a blessed holiday season, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.